Bryant, one of the all-time basketball greats, has died in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California.
The whole city of Los Angeles, the entire National Basketball Association, those who were touched and inspired by the story of Kobe Bryant, the family and friends of the beloved. Kobe was widely considered one of the greatest NBA players of all time, making 18 All-Star teams during his 20-year career with the Lakers. He was first-round pick in 1996, winning 5 NBA championships, 2 NBA Final MVPs, and he was the league's MVP in 2008. Not only was Kobe Bryant delivering on the courts, making it well known that Kobe Bryant wanted to give more to this world than just basketball stats, but showing his community that he is there and one to rely on, as we all saw the great hard work and effort that Kobe Bryant gave the city of Los Angeles. It is with deepest regret that we report Kobe Bryant, at age 41, and his 13-year-old daughter Gianna has died in a helicopter crash along with others on board. Power 106 remembers the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant. Rest in
by 18, leading by 28 here and finally winning by 7. The final appearance in Milwaukee for Kobe Bryant.
A little torch passing, the hug. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who finishes with a triple-double, upstaging Kobe on his night here in Milwaukee, if there is such a thing.
And we get the handshake.
Kobe, old man, welcome to our new life. It was fun playing with you. It was fun playing against you. Best Laker ever. I just want to say congratulations on an illustrious career and tell your beautiful daughters Uncle Shaq said hello and your lovely wife. Congratulations, brother.
Hey, Kobe and Steve Fish. Congratulations to you, man, on an amazing, amazing 20-year run. No other player in the history of our game will be able to compare to what you've done, the way you've done it, and how long it will live on. It was an honor, and I'm humbled to have been your teammate, your brother, your friend. God bless you. I will love you forever.
Out to Kobe. Call away high. Are you kidding me?
Kobe, man, I appreciate everything you've done for the game of basketball. Be proud of what you've done. I appreciate you. You'll always be a champion, and thank you, man.
Kobe, man, thank you for being someone that I can reach for. From everybody who's played the game of basketball, we respect you, and we're just very thankful for your 20 years in this NBA.
Kobe, congrats, my man. You had an incredible career. It's been a pleasure watching you and competing against you. Wish you nothing but the best for life after basketball. Take care, my friend.
Kobe, you did it the right way. You did it your way. You've done things that most people never even dream of, and I hope you have peace and success in your next life.
Kobe, I want to say congratulations on this night, man. Lord knows you've earned it. I want to say thank you for all these memories that you've given us. You know, as a friend and as a fan, man, I want to say salute and all the best to you, my dude.
Cole, it's your big little brother, man. I'm going to miss you. We're going to miss you. I appreciate everything you did for the game. I appreciate everything you did for me. Peace.
Kobe's had a huge impact on the game, and the game's in a much better place because of what he's been able to accomplish in his career. If you watch Kobe, I think it makes you a better player because you know who he is.
Yo, what up, Kobe? Just want to say thank you for everything that you've done. You set some standards that once I got into the league, I always wanted to emulate. I always wanted to try to match. Nothing but love to you, to your beautiful wife, and your 2 beautiful daughters, man.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win.
My brother.
And his daughter in the building, breaking down the game.
I love this.
Mucho tiempo va, Barcelona venía a Los Angeles. Ronaldinho fue un amigo mío. Estaba allá hablando con Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho me dice, Kobe, mira, te voy a presentar el juego que va a ser el mejor juego de todos los tiempos. Tú eres el mejor jugador. Él me dice, no, esto aquí va a ser el mejor. Fui Lionel Messi, tenía solamente 17 años.
Chiquito, además.
Chiquito.
Y la carrera que ha tenido ahora corresponde con el liderazgo y lo que te dijo Ronaldinho también, además.
The best thing that happens is when we go out and fans will come up to me and she'll be standing next to me and they'll be like, hey, you gotta have a boy, you and V gotta have a boy, man. You got somebody carry on the tradition, the legacy. She's like, Oi, I got this. You know, boy, for that, I got this.
They're just a standard that's above in all cases.
If you electronically switched the uniforms and played that at full speed, you would not have been able to tell who was who.
Michael looks over at us and said, he can't guard me.
Kobe looks over at Doug Collins and said, this guy cannot guard me.
This man, when you think about Michael Jordan, the closest to get to Michael has been Kobe Bryant.
Now we just agree that these guys are like phenomenal players, and let's just move on. We got to do the one-on-one battle, huh?
We got to do it.
What he built, and just proud to show this to his next generation, to his family, to his daughters. We saw him many times this season coming to Laker games and bringing his daughter Gigi, who is an up-and-coming basketball player, and sitting there. And one of the most amazing and special videos was just a couple of weeks ago when he sat courtside with Gigi at a Lakers game, and he was showing her plays, and he was pointing at the players and teaching her, this is what you do in that situation, watching the game with her and standing there with his knowledge. That can you imagine how valuable that is for a young superstar, young 13-year-old basketball player to watch Kobe and to have the game broken down right there with him. And the way Kobe interacted with young players, he was always just so proud of the next generation. He has always been so open with, I hope my records get broken. I hope that there are players that come after and do what I did, if not better. Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks stopped last week and took time to go over to Kobe and shake his hand at a Laker game. And Kobe even spoke Luka's native language to him. Yeah. And Kobe was just, I tell you, jack of all trades. He was so knowledgeable, so incredible, but so personable that he even took a little bit of time to learn the language that Luka spoke and wanted to chat with him in it, and made a little joke. And when LeBron would come over, he would stop. They'd give a handshake. When he'd see a young player come over, they would stop and give a handshake. And the last tweet that Kobe Bryant ever tweeted was his praise towards LeBron James. LeBron James last night passing Kobe's record for third on the all-time scoring list. Kobe was third last night until LeBron scored and passed him on that list. And instead of sitting there and being quiet or just saying, hey, congratulations, Kobe was overjoyed. And you can see that in the tweet that he wrote. And he was proud of what LeBron James and this Lakers team were building. We talked about that last week, how excited he was and the potential he thought that this young team had. Yeah. He believed in LeBron James, he believed in Anthony Davis, and he believed in the bench that they had with him. And he really, truly believed that this team would be able to do a lot of different things. He was never jealous or bitter that maybe someone would be better than him or have a bigger career. He always knew, and you get into those debates of who's the greatest of all times. Right. He wanted no part of that. He always knew that everyone was different. Every player had different games. LeBron's such a different kind of player than Kobe. You couldn't compare the two. But it's really special when you see a superstar like that with so much pride, so much tenacity, so much focus, and really, you see him play. There was nothing like it. Championships on championships. But he was happy for the people that followed in his footsteps. LeBron James told a remarkable story I have to share last night on the air on our Slam Dunk show. LeBron passing Kobe last night for third all time. And when he was 17 to 18 years old, he was in high school playing in a high school championship in Philadelphia. And Kobe invited LeBron to come to his hotel and chat, because we knew that LeBron was going to be the next big thing. He was going to, like Kobe, skip college and go play in the NBA. And Kobe gave him his size 14 sneakers and said, I want you to have these. And LeBron said last night, I'm a size 15, Kobe's a size 14, but I put those shoes on and I played my next game in those shoes. That probably cramped his foot, that probably hurt like heck. But Kobe wanted LeBron to have those shoes, and he said, you don't know what that meant to me. Meant the world.
And they're only 6 years apart.
Which is,
you know, they feel like they played in different eras almost.
Yeah.
But only 6 years apart, and of course they played against each other. You talk about Kobe being from Philadelphia. We were lucky enough for Los Angeles to be able to claim Kobe, but Philadelphia is also in mourning today as well. That's where he's from. Lower Merion was the school that he played at. There are press conferences happening in Philadelphia right now reacting to this scene. One of the coaches from Lower Merion, the Aces, said that the Aces Nation has lost its heartbeat. We know how Kobe transcended sports. They posted a picture up at the Pro Bowl, which is happening right now in Hawaii, with a picture of Kobe saying 1978 to 2020. And obviously with social media being as it is today, a lot of these fans already knew about it, but perhaps many did not, paying attention to what was happening on the game. They said that word had spread on the sidelines of the Pro Bowl during the game.
How could it not?
Kobe transcended basketball. He was a superstar among all sports, among all athletes. And
you see that on
a Kobe
social
chant
media.
broke out at the Pro Bowl once that went up on the big board.
We do want to give an update on the investigation. As expected, the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB, they are sending their GO team, and in fact, they're going to be there at the crash site by this evening. And so we can expect also the FAA, they'll be investigating to see exactly what happened. We don't know at this point, but we do know that it was really foggy this morning. There was a marine layer that came in. In fact, Air 7HD, our helicopter, had a difficult time getting up last night and this morning because of the fog. We don't know if that's a factor. Could be anything at this point, but the NTSB is going to be there. Their GO team is going to be at the crash site by this evening.
Yeah, helicopters are exponentially more dangerous to fly in terms of crash rates than airplanes. And a lot of that has to do with where helicopters fly. Airplanes get up into higher elevations, into the airspace where there are fewer hazards to fly at. Helicopters are constantly flying at lower elevations where there are countless more hazards. You talk about bird strikes, drones, telephone lines. There are
helicopters?
3 major areas of helicopter crashes, and it's pilot error, mechanical error, or electronic error. Of course, that's going to be the beginning of the NTSB, the FAA, once they begin their investigations of how this happened. But it is not unusual to hear stories. I think it's something like 7.5 out of every 100,000 hours of flight time, which, you know, that sounds like a lot. You look at airline travel, and it's something, a fraction, 0.015, something in that range. So you're talking about 7.5 out of 100,000 versus 0.01 something.
Right.
Airplane versus helicopter. But again, a lot of that is circumstantial. It's like the stat that most of the accidents happen within 5 miles of your home because you spend most of the time within 5 miles of your home. So it is a dangerous thing, not inherently to fly a helicopter, but there are so many more risks involved when you go up in a helicopter.
And Kobe, he traveled everywhere pretty much by helicopter. He wanted to be at the top of his game, and that's what he said. That's the reason why he would take his helicopter right to a nearby hotel, land on top, and then go straight into the Staples Center. And we know that last night he was coaching his daughter Gigi's tournament over in the Valley, and then of course heading past Calabasas, taking another player of his daughters and their parent, and that pilot, of course. And if you've ever been in a helicopter and you watch a pilot as they maneuver a helicopter, they're thinking about so many different things, not only as they're going up, but they're also communicating with all the other helicopters. And in an area like Los Angeles, there is a lot of air traffic. traffic, not only with planes, but also with other helicopters, because there are a lot of people who have private helicopters who, want to avoid traffic. So there's so many different
It's
factors
not regulated the same way that airplane traffic. Just having gone up a few times in Air 7 HD, they can basically go wherever they want. There is restricted airspace, but if you want to fly over the Hollywood sign or if you want to fly over downtown, you just go. That's just how it works, and it's just a matter of getting from point A to point B without flying through any restricted airspace. They have a lot of leeway to do this, and if you're coming up over one of the ridges in fog like this, things can go wrong. The NBA Players Association releasing a statement today, writing, "We are stunned and devastated by the news of the sudden passing of Kobe Bryant. Words cannot express his impact on our players, the NBA, and the game of basketball. This is a monumental loss for the entire basketball community, and our hearts are quite simply broken. We send love and prayers out to his wife, Vanessa, and the entire family." And the family, of course, down two members today, tragically losing Kobe Bryant and 13-year-old Gianna, his daughter, one of 4 daughters.
You guys were both talking about his contentious relationship with Shaq, which of course I'm sure blossomed into a beautiful friendship at some point. He just tweeted 1 minute ago, he says, Shaq says, "There's no words to express the pain I'm going through with the tragedy of losing my niece Gigi and my brother Kobe Bryant. I love you and you will be missed. My condolences go out to the Bryant family and the families of the other passengers on board." And then in all caps he says, "I'm sick right now."
And that's, I think, the sentiment of the entire basketball world. But can you imagine those players that put on their jerseys day in, day out with Kobe? Kobe was the leader of that team. Kobe taught the younger players certain things in their game, I'm sure, as Shaq would say, so many different things in his game. And so for all of those players who lived side by side with him every day in that locker room, every day on that court, you can't imagine the stunning hole that this leaves in so many hearts of his dear teammates and the Lakers organization as well. I mean, you just think that this was the face, truly, of Lakers. And the Lakers, no doubt, I think there's an argument of who is the leader of sports in Los Angeles. Is it the Dodgers? Is it the Lakers? I would always say it's the Lakers. You go anywhere in this town and you see Lakers gold and purple. And when you think Lakers, who do you think of? I've thought Kobe Bryant. And I think so many would say the same. And we showed video there of his jersey retirement that was back in 2017. Kobe got 2 jerseys retired. That was his legacy, that Kobe played in the number 24 jersey and he played in the number 8 jersey, and he had such a great impact that they couldn't choose one number because he did so many unbelievable things.
I mean, has
in
that
both
ever
of those
happened?
numbers.
No.
Truly, I've never seen anything like that. We just spoke last night on Slam Dunk. We were talking about, it's so crazy. We were just talking about his 62-point game in 3 quarters and his 81-point game. And we tried to compare which one was bigger and which one was better. How do you even think that you would see something like that again from such a superstar who had such a long career, who overcame so many difficult injuries? His Achilles injury, which some people never come back from. Kobe fought through so many different things and still did things we've never seen on a basketball court. And I remember Norm Nixon saying last night that the 62 points in 3 quarters, and to sit out that last 12 minutes of the game, the Dallas Mavericks didn't even stand a chance in that game. And Kobe single-handedly manhandled a full team. But that's what he did. And that's who Kobe was as a player.
And could have selfishly
fought
to stay in the game.
Absolutely. If he wanted to, he could have done anything, truly. And we saw that in his final game where he kept getting the ball and he kept putting it up and he kept draining shots and everything he put up went in. But what Kobe did, I truly believe we will never see again in the sport. He has a legacy that will leave a far greater impact than here in Los Angeles, here with the Lakers. It will be a worldwide emptiness we feel with Kobe's passing.
And you have to wonder whether the NBA will do something, perhaps retiring his jersey at some point league-wide. You have to imagine they will do something. We are less than 10 minutes away from an expected press conference from near the site of the crash of this helicopter that has cost the life of Laker legend Kobe Bryant. In the meantime, we do want to get around to some of the reaction that has been coming in from around the NBA, from around the sports world, and really around the world itself. We've seen so many politicians and emissaries. This is Dwayne Wade, just another legend of basketball, but also a person who really appreciated the personality of his fellow athletes and competitors writing no. God, please, no. A lot of denial from many of us. This is Dr. Pat Soon Xiang. This is the, I believe, the owner of the LA Times, writing, unspeakably sad. Gigi is with Kobe. Please pray for Vanessa and family.
And Dr. Pat Soon Xiang says, heartbroken and numb, please pray for Vanessa and the children. Rest in peace, Kobe. We will all miss you so much. Again, the same sentiment, tweet after tweet. Paul Gasol says, beyond devastated. My big brother, I just can't believe it.
And his brother Mark playing right now, having to go on. Marc Gasol reportedly brought to tears in the middle of a game. The show must go on, as they say. It's hard.
It's hard.
Despite the fact that Kobe is not even an active player, hasn't been for 4 years. You look at the reaction of players right now, and it's as if, I mean, it's as if he was still playing and still impacting everyone's life on the court.
I spoke with Anthony Davis about 2 weeks ago. It's funny, I think it was a Tuesday night, I did a one-on-one with Anthony Davis, superstar of the Lakers right now. The next day I went to the Bank of California Stadium and got to do a one-on-one with Kobe. And Anthony Davis then, even speaking about his inspiration and where he grew in his game and who he learned from, he said Kobe Bryant. To him, there was no one greater and no one had a greater impact in his success as a superstar player than Kobe Bryant. The superstars of this league looked up to Kobe because Kobe was everyone's superstar.
Absolutely. Ashley, we're going to head out now to Josh Haskell. He is at the site of the press conference that's about to happen here. He's going to give us a little update. Josh, what are you hearing? What can we expect?
Well, we're about 1.5 miles from the crash site here at the Lost Hills Sheriff Station. We're waiting for Sheriff Villanueva to arrive, and I'm told some other folks with the Sheriff's Department. And just to give you a sense of the scene as media is showing up, and we do expect to learn more about how the Sheriff's Department responded to this crash and what they can tell us. A Sheriff's deputy looked at me and said, I'm having a hard time with this, man. I'm a Laker fan too. And that is what I've been experiencing all morning, what I myself am experiencing when I showed up to the crash scene. About 500 people were scattered in that one area across the street on Las Virgenes. People in Lakers jerseys, people just pouring their hearts out, telling me that they had to see this for themselves. They had seen the tweets, they had seen our stories, they had seen our coverage, but they just could not believe it. And they went and saw that plume of smoke up on the hillside here. So we're at the Lost Hills Sheriff Station. We expect an update. We will bring that press conference to you live as we await a few more people to arrive. I would say it's unlikely that this starts right at 2, but of course we will stay here. We are here, and we will bring you the latest. But guys, just to give you a sense of what I'm feeling in this area here, you have a few of the roads that are shut down, and traffic. I had a difficult time just getting here. I had to park about 1/2 mile from the crash site and walk, just because people that live in the area, people that don't live in the area, were just pouring in, had to see this for themselves, and then sharing stories about Kobe. Just so many people in shock over this incident.
It's tough, and when fans hear about this, they just want to be there. They want to be a part of it. They felt like Kobe was a part of their life for so long that they just want to be there. Josh, I'm guessing there are outlets from all over. You know, it's going to take some time to get people there, but just beyond the normal Los Angeles outlets that you're seeing setting up for this press conference.
The white, yeah, we're going to give you a quick pan right now of what things look like. There was a scramble, as you can imagine, from that crash scene about 1.5 miles from where I am. There's about 25 to 30 reporters here now, print and broadcast journalists, as people are just waiting for updates. And we're also waiting for Sheriff Villanueva to arrive, as we're told that he will partake in this press conference. And just to give you a little bit more of a sense of where we are at the Lost Hills Sheriff Station, again, we're 1.5 miles from the crash scene. We're about 13 miles from Newberry Park in Thousand Oaks, where we believe that that helicopter was headed for that basketball camp. So that just gives you a sense right now as we approach the 2 p.m. hour. hour, and we will get more details. We don't expect someone from the FAA to be here this soon. We know that takes time from the NTSB. We know they are investigating, but the Sheriff's Department is, at this point, has basically shut down the whole area. I talked to some people that tried to hike up there, and they said there were officers everywhere, and they couldn't get close to the crash scene. As I just reported, Las Virgenes is shut down, and right now it's just filled with Kobe Bryant fans and shocked Angelinos that this is what they're having to deal with and process on a Sunday morning, now Sunday afternoon.
Josh, I think you're right when you say that the press conference is probably not going to be starting exactly at 2, but we're going to check back in with you as soon as it does. I'm assuming that outlets from all over the country are trying to make it there to hear what the sheriff and others have to say. And Jory and Ashley, I just want to bring in the fact that the next game, the next scheduled game, we don't know if it'll be canceled, but the Lakers are expected to play the Clippers on Tuesday.
Right.
Both LA teams, I mean, just wow, that's timing.
And it will be eerie, in a sense, to once again walk into Staples Center and know that that is the place where Kobe's legacy will forever be remembered. He was a Laker only. He was a Laker his whole life, his whole career. When you walk into the Lakers, you see the purple and gold. That's Kobe. That's what we remember. And it's the last place we saw him play. It's the place we saw him break records, win championships, become an 8-time All-Star, 5 championships. It's stunning to think that that is Kobe's home. It's where he felt most at home. It's where he poured all of his life and his energy and his blood, sweat, and tears out. That's where Kobe was injured and fell on the court when he rolled his Achilles tendon, one of the most painful injuries in sports. Kobe gave everything to the sport, and he gave everything to the Lakers. And so for this team to continue to represent his name, the number 24, the number 8 legacy, what Kobe did on that court is just something. I say it and I can't keep saying it over and over. We'll never see that again. Yeah. These players will continue to try to make him proud and to try to continue that legacy. We will see this for years and years and years of Kobe's name living on at the forefront of this team, at the forefront of the NBA. But truly, I can't imagine this organization, the Buss family, who loved Kobe and who raised Kobe. You have to think, Kobe was raised by basketball. He did not go to college. He was too good to go to college. He went straight from high school in Philadelphia and took the leap of a lifetime to go at 18 years old and to play in his first NBA game as a Los Angeles Laker at 18 years of age.
I mean, he was barely 18. His birthday is in late August. So you're basically talking about a 17-year-old who goes from high school to the NBA. You think about how young he is. 41 years old. He's been retired from the NBA for 4 years already, and he's still only just 41.
You have to think basketball was his life. It was everything to Kobe. It was everything to him. And since then, he stepped aside, his family number one of all of it. But if you really could put family first, basketball very close second.
We are approaching the top of the hour here at 2 o'clock. We are expecting that 2 o'clock press conference, which may take some time to get to. At some point, we're going to be going to an ABC News special report. We are expecting that to happen within mere moments. But again, just to reset, if you are just joining us, Kobe Bryant, Laker legend, basketball legend, dead at the age of 41 in a helicopter crash this morning. His 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, was on board at the time. She perished as well. 3 other people were on board, a teammate of Gigi's, that teammate's parent, and the pilot of this helicopter.
Yes, absolutely. So we may be cutting in, as Jory said, into that ABC News special. We might be sticking around and going to the press conference. We should know here in a couple of moments, but we will also be, of course, on digital, updating all of our social media pages as soon as we get more information, because this investigation is still very much in the early stages. We're still waiting to get confirmation on the other 3 identities of those who perished, and also what exactly caused this crash. We know that the NTSB, they're on their way. They're not going to get there until this evening, but the scene site, the crash site really around that area, Josh was saying, is completely shut down, but fans are flocking to that area. Fans also flocking to the Staples Center, which is shut down because of the Grammys. So If you're sitting at home, we've mentioned this before, but if you want a place to go, if you need a place to mourn, at 5 o'clock at Leimert Park, there's going to be a candlelight vigil. So that's probably the best location for people to assemble and gather and just think about Kobe Bryant.
Word now that that press conference has been pushed back to 2:30, so another 29 minutes before we're going to hear from authorities. The NTSB is on their way to the scene. They have their emergency response team not expected to arrive until tonight. On the side of our screen, an intermittent between highlights of the greatness of what we've been able to see from Kobe Bryant over his 20-year career are shots from Air 7 HD of the crash scene. The debris field is expansive. A helicopter compared to an aircraft, fixed-wing airplane, is a relatively small vehicle. The debris field is rather wide. It is vast, and it looks like the impact that this helicopter had on the ground was it was traveling at a high rate of speed. We heard one bystander say they heard the engine failing as it made its way down. Those are some of the things that the investigators are going to look at, whether this was pilot error, whether this was something wrong with the helicopter, or whether they encountered some kind of debris. If it was a bird strike, if they wound up hitting some power lines. There was fog in the area. Many people woke up this morning or last night to see that we had been socked in with fog, making for dangerous flying conditions, or whether there's also the possibility in this day and age that it was a drone. We mentioned earlier, Air 7 HD was struck by a drone just weeks ago, and experts say if it had been an inch to the side, it would have been a catastrophic incident, and it would have crashed.
And we just cannot overemphasize how dangerous it is for helicopters to fly in the fog.
Yeah.
Air 7 HD couldn't get up last night because of the fog, and could not get to the scene immediately this morning because of the fog. So that marine layer is certainly going to be a point that the NTSB will be looking at, something that could potentially be a cause, but there are so many different factors when it comes to plane and helicopter crashes that we just still don't know. And so hopefully we'll get some more information at that 2:30 press conference. It was supposed to be at 2, but it's been pushed back for about a half an hour. But we are expecting hopefully some more information.
And we are getting some more news right now. Ashley Brewer has
from the Orange County Register is reporting that there is a gathering right now at Orange Coast College for John Altobelli, who was an OCC baseball coach, and he was the other father in the helicopter with Kobe Bryant. So John Altobelli, an Orange Coast College baseball coach, we believe he is, according to Orange County Register, the other man in the helicopter alongside Kobe Bryant.
24 seasons as head coach at Orange Coast College baseball. He has a son, JJ, who had a baseball career as a player and a graduate assistant. He has daughters, Alexis and Alyssa. And so if that report winds up being it is one of those daughters, Alexis or Alyssa, who was on board the helicopter with Kobe Bryant and his daughter, Gianna. The tragedy continues. It spreads and hits another family here in Southern California.
Truly.
Another school, another community, the baseball community and the basketball community now struck by this.
My brother's a baseball agent, and he said this man was a huge presence in the sport of baseball in Orange County. And this is a stunning loss now in 2 sports. This is about 2 families, among many others, and everyone who is impacted by this crash. But now we have 2 parents, 2 loving daughters who are lost in this accident. It is devastating beyond words. All the tweets you see on Twitter right now is, I can't believe this is happening. Is this really happening? And I think that is truly the sentiment of the world right now. How did we lose our hero? And how did we lose another super presence of Orange County and Orange County baseball? It is hard to put into words this kind of loss and the impact it'll have on the Orange County community, on the impact it'll have in sports and worldwide.
Yeah, John Altobelli actually received his master's degree from Azusa Pacific while he was having his baseball career, has coached all over baseball, began in the Cape Cod Summer Leagues and made his way out to Southern California, where he has coached at Orange Coast for 24 years.
Wow. My brother told me that his son is a scout in baseball, so it's a family sport, it's a family business for them. I can't imagine the amount of athletes that he has coached and that have been impacted and are now devastated by this news. To lose a coach and to lose someone who impacted your personal life and your baseball career, his poor daughter who is with him. These two young girls, you have to think about two 13-year-old girls who had the world ahead of them.
Of course.
13 years old.
Still definitely waiting on that confirmation.
Yes.
If the daughter was in fact on board. But we do know that Kobe Bryant was coaching a tournament at his daughter's game. We know Gianna was on board, and so we can just assume that potentially her teammate, another girl, was on board.
But John Altobelli, according to Orange County Register, was the father accompanied in the helicopter.
Yeah, and of course, obviously, the spotlight, Kobe Bryant just shines a lot of attention. Most of the attention is going to be on him, but this is another family that was affected who lost two members. Two of 5 in this family. And the baseball community in Orange Coast, the baseball community of Southern California loses a legend, 24 seasons at the same school. He was a rock there. And so we don't want to forget that there are more victims. The pilot itself, another member of someone's family
who we don't know
who has been lost, who won't be coming home tonight. And you think about these family members, you think about those on board the helicopter. It must have been a terrifying and a worst way to go. You know, we all think about it. Anytime we take a trip like this, you think about the worst case scenario. And it's just devastating to think about.
And we're also learning that Kobe Bryant and Gigi, they were actually headed to play their 2 p.m. game at the Mamba Sports Academy against a team from Fresno. And Kobe was going to be coaching this game today. You got to think about the teammates of those girls. I'm assuming this game has to be absolutely canceled. There's no way. You got to think about all the classmates of these young girls.
Yeah. The NBA, meantime, continues to play. There was a tribute at today's, I believe it was the Raptors game. I think we have tape of that right now.
They have decided that whoever wins the tip, and in this case Toronto, they are going to let the shot clock run out because of the number 24 to honor Kobe Bryant. Fitting. Appropriate. Is Fred VanVleet holding on to it, and the crowd recognizing what this means. Sean, how did these guys play?
I don't know. You tell me. It'd be tough for me in this situation.
We've been told the NBA is planning or has canceled some of the games this evening. And DeJounte Murray will do the same. The 24-second shot clock, of course, Kobe Bryant, number 24. And the fans recognize that through chanting Kobe, and now the game will actually begin.
He had flown frequently throughout the years, even when he was a player, flying from his home to the games and to practice. And after that, it really was a retreat into the background, my association with him, helping him arrive here in Los Angeles, watching him grow as a player, and being like a surrogate father for him. When he was 17 years old, couldn't drive. My son Ryan used to drive him to the practices. He'd never been in the 405 freeway, never had that horrible experience. And then to start thinking about some of the intimate things that I had done with him to help him through the hurdles of a 17-year-old kid trying to become an NBA player and take that to enormous amount of talent he had and to put it within a framework that would help the Lakers be successful for so many years. 20 years career, one of the worst days of my life. The only thing I can compare it to is I had a brother killed in Korea, and I'm just devastated by this news. And to watch him transform his life and career from this iconic player to have an enormous career in the media business, and to see him with his young kids, his young daughters, the joy that was in their eyes looking at their father, who obviously they loved. to the attention he paid to them, to his getting involved in promoting women's basketball. This was a man for all seasons. He was more than an iconic basketball player. He was someone who inspired millions of fans, not here in this state, not here in the United States, all over the world.
All around the world.
He arguably was the most popular, all around the world, particularly starting in Asia. He was beloved. You know, you see certain figures, a Magic Johnson with his personality, and Kobe's was completely different. Irvin, that big smile, inviting attitude, and him walking around the street, people coming up to him. This guy was like a Pied Piper. People would follow him everywhere just to look at him, to touch him, for him to say hello. For me, this is a god-awful day.
It's so apparent that it is. It's written all over your face in the eloquent way that you spoke about Kobe, and he definitely so multi that come to mind when it comes to Kobe Bryant. What's the one word for you, Tom?
Robin, I think sometimes we confuse record and legacy. Record is what you've done. Legacy is what you've meant. And I think it's very difficult to try to summarize and describe shortly his legacy.
And you know, we saw him tell Mike Wilbon that scoring 29 points at 17 was easy. Tonight was anything but. And I just want to say our prayers and our thoughts are with Vanessa and the family, the Bryant family.
And the Bryant family, and to remember that 7 others, including Kobe and his daughter Gianna, were killed, and thinking of all the families, all the loved ones. And we thank you for being here with us on this very difficult evening. We know that you're hurting. We are as well. Tom Rinaldi, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have both on ESPN and ABC. And again, that was a tribute to Kobe Bryant. And I'll see you bright and early. I think we have something to talk about in the morning. So many
Kobe was a great example in so many different ways, on so many different levels, not just for being the dude that scored 81, but for the dude that carried himself so classy. With so many wins on his belt, he was always in silence. You know, so it was, it's a huge loss. I can't really, you know, say it no better than that.
The best thing that happens is when we go out and fans will come up to me and she'll be standing next to me and they'll be like, hey, you gotta have a boy, you and V gotta have a boy, man. You have somebody carry on the tradition, the legacy. She's like, oh, I got this. You know, boy for that, I got this.